Okay, so yeah, I'm going to demo the HTML editor that we've created using Quill JS rather than TrumboWig. What we've got is so what I've done is to demo, I've just created a basic content item with 3 different versions of the editor. So so we can start with the middle one, which is kind of like a full. Actually, let's go in and edit that one. So what I've done since we've got back is we were kind of using Quill, but not really using all of it. So now I've created a kind of a UI for setting up the editor. There's 2 themes. So when we demoed it at Harvest, we showcased a kind of a paired back UI, which when you hover over brings up a menu, or when you select text brings up a menu, and a full-blown editor theme. So you can switch between those. I'll show those in a second. And also, in order to build the toolbar, you've got a drag and drop system here, where you can kind of come in and remove various items and move things around to build up your menu. So if I pop back and head into my content types, I've got one setup here which has all 3 editors. Sorry, edit. So here's the 3 editors that I've created out of that menu selection for the demo. So the first one is the paired back version of the demo of the menu. So when you select text, you get this pop-up, and you can obviously add your various formatting and styling. And then you've got so this is the bubble theme, this is the snow theme. One's really great if you're working with content and the designers have kind of paired or given you certain style properties, like being able to change a single color to italic in a title or something like that. So this, on the Buzz site, we've got green text as kind of one word is green, the rest of it is black. And so it's really nice for giving the content creators something that's quite minimal, allows you to add certain styles to a title maybe. And then you've got your kind of blog entry or your news, recent news kind of entry. Down here, I've got another example of the various kind of paired back menus. As we've said at Harvest, we try and constrain our users so that they can experiment and be create interesting layouts, but not let them go too mad with themes and styles and adhere to branding style guidelines. So this helps us reinforce that. If I go back to the actual builder for it, we've got some different templates here to start off with. So you can have like a minimal template where you've just got bold, italic, and a standard, which gives you most of the styling stuff, and then the full one that gives you some of the more complex stuff like media, images. I haven't got the videos working yet, but the images work, and that side of things. And you can, to organize it, you can name them and drag stuff over. We've also got a default color palette that the color selector will use, but you can also come down here and add various colors. We're using the default HTML picker at the moment for the color, but I think I'd like to make that a little bit nicer to use. I think there's a few things that maybe could be used with TrumboWig as well. So this editor could even be ported over to the TrumboWig editor so that you've got either a drag and drop or the JSON. But that's where I'm at with this at the moment, if there's any questions. And that's the output from some of it on a basic template. So yeah.
The editor, you made it? It's not part of Quill?
Sorry, this drag and drop UI here is ours, and then obviously everything you see in this bit here is standard Quill. So it's all about.
It looks too professional to be No, it doesn't look like something you would make just for Orchard.
It was I got a bee in my bonnet when we came to Harvest, and I wanted to try and make the UI a bit nicer. So I spent a couple of days tidying it up.
I got confused when you said we should have the same editor for Tumbleweed. I'm like, what? What is he talking about? And now now it makes sense because you made it. So you said, oh, we could make the same editor for Tumbleweed because today it's a JSON file, right? And
exactly. Yeah. So this is basically just a way of stopping the injecting JSON, even though it's sanitized. This keeps it, safe. So you're only changing properties rather than building up.
So
JSON.
Wherever we use JSON in Orchard, we could ask you to make an editor for it.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We have lots of JSON, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, and I'd be more than happy.
Okay, so that's let me see. You are in content types. So you are in the field here, or are you in the editor of the HTML field or the text field or whatever?
Yeah, so it's the HTML field, and basically
Quill editor. Okay.
You'd switch over to Tumbleweed there. For us at the moment, we've got the Quill editor one, which just has a kind of GUI to it.
I have the Quill page open. Maybe you can open it, like the project reference, just to check the.
Sorry, say that again.
The license of the project, like the Quill JS page.
Oh yeah, of course.
The Quill JS documentation, just to check the license, if we can embed it, if we can redistribute it, how maintained
good point. Yeah.
Is it, and compared to Tumbleweed or the other ones we have, like we could say no, it's not maintained enough, but maybe Tumbleweed is not even maintained today.
The last, I think it was 9 months ago, but mostly that's comments saying that they're not keeping it or bug fixing at the moment. So what's the license on here? BSD3 clause.
Okay, so that's good, I believe. Yeah, because we have BS2, we have BS3, we have MIT, so I believe that's fine.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Yeah, you see the last release was a year ago, exactly. So the question is, what are those people doing now? Like, are they working on a different thing? If it works, it works, right? But
yeah, I mean, I think part of it is the drag and drop stuff. I think that could go anywhere, as you say. And Quill is there. Nick and I have found another editor that we really like as well. So Quill is just a slightly more modern, I think, than Tumbleweed. But
you would not go to replace Tumbleweed.
Sorry?
You would not go with replacing the Tumbleweed that we have as default today.
No, more options, I guess. We've had a few issues. I can't remember exactly when we decided to build Quill. There was a bit of time where we battled Tumbleweed over a few things, and I can't for the life of me remember what they are now. But I think it was extensibility. I think it's something to do with how, when some of the enhancements you can do with Tumbleweed need to be in JSON, and so the JSON, in JavaScript, and it's very hard to embed the JavaScript in the JSON object when it's going through the sanitized JavaScript stuff. I think that was part of the problem, but I can't remember the exact details from when we were. Nick, do you remember what drove us to this?
I can't. I'm trying to remember what we was.
It was enough to make us go, we need a new editor, but we can't remember exactly why.
I think when we looked at our Tumbleweed, it hadn't been updated for a long time. But looking at it now, it looks like it was updated back in March of this year. So I think I'm just looking at the releases now. Yeah, I can't really see. But yeah, so it was just an experiment, wasn't it? Really, just to see about what other editors there were. We used Quill just as an experiment to see what that was like.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to come up with the GUI for it to make it, see how we could transform a JSON rather than putting JSON in, put a nice drag and drop system in.
Yeah, and this bubble UI has come in really handy with our clients, limiting and having that kind of simple UI. We use that a lot for titles and things. But
so one thing to remember is that the default HTML editor for the HTML field is Trumbowig, right?
yeah.
And there is also a Trumbowig editor that sets it. The idea is that when you don't set an editor, we have to choose what's the actual editor you want to use. And today we default to Trumbowig. So users who don't set anything, they will get Trumbowig by default. When we change the editors, we have the option to add a new one, like you just did, Quill JS. So people they would have to opt in for this editor in the editor dropdown, and anyone will skip their Trumbowig editor by default. And another option is to decide that, oh, we don't want Trumbowig to be the default anymore. We want this one to be the default anymore, be it Quill JS or Texteria or whatever we want. So that's another option we have to say we can make anything be the default editor now. And then when people edit their HTML by default, they get Quill JS. And if they really want Trumbowig, well, pick now Trumbowig as your explicit editor, right? These are the options we have.
Yeah.
And here, yeah, ideally, if we add a new editor, we should just make it an optional editor. And then if people start saying, oh, I always use this one, and this is the one people prefer, we could decide to make it the default one, such that if nobody decided anything about the editor, they will pick up whatever we said is the default. But they can still go back to whatever they had before.
Yeah.
So that we have these options. So I'm not opposed to adding an editor if it adds something, if it's open source, if it's easy to maintain. How many editors do we have today for HTML? Do you know? Can you go back on the content?
Yeah. So here.
Oh, we also have the Monaco. So I have Trumbowig, which is default. Standard is the default, I assume. Standard is the one that says use whatever. Yeah. So that's the agnostic one. And this one will be probably Trumbowig.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So
I think that if there's interest, we could also bring the GUI from the Quill one over to Trumbowig and make it an optional. So you could either enter JSON or have a drag and drop option, maybe.
Yeah, that's always good, right? To have the choice. Like you can in a tab switch between wherever you want to edit that. Like because maybe the UI doesn't fit the needs of the JSON. So sometimes you can just edit it in JSON. Yeah, that's a different issue, but yeah, that will be super interesting because JSON is ugly when you want to edit things. If you have a UI, it's better for sure.
Cool.
And your UI looks nice. Yeah, I'm not opposed to having that. Then whoever has to say something. I'm not editing any HTML in Orchard, so you are. Others like Zoltan.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Mike.
I have one concern about the project being maintained, as you also pointed out. So it's not that there need to be commits like every day, but I see that the issues, the bug reports don't really get any attention either. So we need something that's actively maintained.
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so that's a shame because otherwise it looks great. I also very much like that toolbar editor that you created. So indeed we should have something like that for every JSON configuration. By the way, is that extensible? So if you want to add a toolbar item from a different module, can you do that? I suppose you can, right?
Sorry, so if you wanted to add a different toolbar from...
Like I want to add a button for my module into the toolbar Quill. Will that show up in that content field or part editor? And will I be able to just put it somewhere?
Yeah, I think you can definitely create your own custom plugins to extend Quill. I don't know if I don't know to what level you can do that in a kind of user-friendly way. It's going to be more manual and code-based.
Yeah, that's fine.
keep extending it. That's not a problem.
I mean, can you add such plugins from a different module than your Quill module?
Have you got an example? Sorry.
Yeah, like with the Trombovig editor, we have a button for shortcodes and we have a button for the media library, but those buttons are not actually in the Trombovig module or HTML module, or which one is it? But they are in the media and in the shortcodes modules, and they extend the Trombovig editor.
Of course. I think that's possible, but I just have to go and look at the implementation. I'm more than happy to go and check to see how they're doing it and see if I can make the same thing happen with.
Well, it's more about how Orchard module is doing it. Like the Trombovig module has custom interface to say like Trombovig extension, and then other modules will depend on that and implement the interface to say this is how you take this JavaScript, take this plugin that contains the title, the icon, and the JavaScript, and then the Trombovig module will just inject this JavaScript in the correct calls to Trombovig. And that I assume you will have to do the same thing. So copy what the Trombovig module is doing to make it extensible, if we want to make it extensible.
I didn't think about that. I think that's quite important. So I'm going to go away and have a look at that.
If Quill JS has extensions, because maybe Quill JS has everything inside Quill JS, Trombovig is actually made of different plugins. That's why it's important. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've definitely seen other people creating things for
modules,
plugins for Quill. So I think it should be possible, but that's definitely a code challenge I can go away and have a look at.
When I go to the Quill JS playground, I don't see your editor, which is without a toolbar and just you select and it shows. How does it work? Like, where is that?
Guess.
You see here, I see toolbar, normal, bold, italic.
So if you do, is it the bubble bit where you so if I change so you can then go and they've got their bounds up badly, but it doesn't do that on my own. Promise.
Oh, it's a theme.
Yes.
Theme. That's weird. Okay, I get it.
Cool. Shall I stop sharing?
Thank you. So next step depends on what we want to do. If we want to integrate it, it goes with a PR. And then you can say next you will add modules like extensibility. And it won't be the default one, so people can play with it and understand what it is. And then maybe one day people will say, okay, I want it to be the default because we only use this one. But yeah, if you can try to make it a module, that would be great. Then you don't have to maintain it yourself, or at least on your own repository.
Of course,
Yeah, so that's the next step.
Great.
Unless people don't want Quill JS in Orchard.
That's fine as well.
And yeah, it would be nice to understand what's their stance right now with their next features, bug fixing. Not that we know it for Trombovig, but when we injected Trombovig, there was activity. So that.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe they're working on something new that is better, and then we should know. It would be interesting. We should try to track those main developers, what they do right now.
Yeah, I'll spend some more time researching what's going on, what they're working on.
Thank you.